Next, we will move to the general principles of law. While treaties and custom are the most important sources of international law, the others mentioned in Article 38 of the International Court of Justice Statute should not be ignored. General principles of law recognized by civilized nations and was considered as the third source of international law. General principles of law are basic rules where the content is very general and abstract. It is not written down and there's no precise list of such principles. The examples of general principles of law is good faith principle that the conduct shall be honest and fair, respect for human dignity, that protection of human rights as an important principle of humanitarian and human rights law. Principle of proportionality, which means a state's acts must be a rational and reasonable exercise of means towards achieving a permissible goal. There are two approaches that exist in terms of general principles of law. First approach provides that treaty law, customary international law, and general principles of law are all separate and out. Meanwhile, for the second approach, the general principle law was considered as a part of treaty law and customary international law. Other than general principles of law, judicial decision also was considered as a source of law too. Under Article 38 of International Court of Justice Statute, it stated that judicial decision a subsidiary means for the determination of the rules of law. Judicial decision is the determination of law by a court of competent jurisdiction on matters submitted to its judgment. The judge must determine the facts and decide which law, tradition, or precedent applies to the case. Judicial decisions become the subsidiary sources of international law, where the past decisions which created the law have been a guidance for judges to refer back in future cases. In theory, judicial decisions do not make law, but are declaratory of pre-existing law. They are law-identifying or material sources of law. Although the courts are, in principle, not obliged to follow previous decisions, in practice, they almost take previous decisions into account. So I think that's all from me. I will pass it to Kukia.